Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the City of Douglasville's Legislative Work Session of Thursday, August 29th, 2024. Tonight, this is a legislative work session, which we will not be taking actual votes on items. Things will just simply be presented for discussion, and official action will be taken on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. We have a holiday coming up. I'm Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller. I did it again, mispronounced my own name. Twice in an evening, that's good. We had completed our agenda items and protocol for during the voting meeting at 5:30 on our special call meeting, so I will not go back over the protocol again. We'll just assume you got that the first time. So we will just jump right into the agenda for this evening and go straight to the committees. And the first committee tonight is the Economic Development Committee, and the vice chair of that will take care of that. That is Vice Chair Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have no business this evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Miller. Our next committee meeting is the Finance Committee, and that's chaired by Chris Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. We have one item under Finance tonight to authorize the city staff to issue a temporary business license to 122 Collision Douglasville, LLC, located at 8729 South Flat Rock Road, pending the rezoning application. And Mr. Dana Gray is going to come first and tell us what we need to know.
Good evening, Council. Dana Gray, 6695 Church Street. So this application is located on South Flat Rock Road. The applicant recently came in for a business license for an automotive repair shop located on Flat Rock Road. Our process in zoning is to review the zoning and the condition of that site, and we did find a condition with that site. An ordinance from 2016 was approved for recycling, and it also came with a condition, and the condition reads, uses limited to recycling only. So to be able to change or modify that condition from our UDO 12.08.04 states in summary that any condition that council has placed on a parcel must come back to council for consideration. So we informed the applicant of this stipulation. It will require a rezoning. He has since submitted a rezoning, and it will go through a 45 to 60-day process. But in the meantime, he has also requested for a temporary business license while this process goes on.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Council, any questions for Mr. Gray? All right, and I think, thank you, Mr. Gray. Stay close just in case something else comes up, but Mr. Byrd, I believe, may weigh in on this also.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Well, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, Shane Byrd, 6695 Church Street. I'm just here this evening to present the request for a temporary license for 122 Collision Douglasville, LLC, located at 8729 South Flat Rock Road here in Douglasville, Georgia. Chris Ray, the applicant, has made the appropriate fees into the Finance Department and has gone through the Finance Department's procedures for obtaining a business license. Currently, the only stipulation holding up the issuance of that license would be the rezoning matter. So as a workaround and a temporary solution while the applicant works through that process is you all have the ability to issue a business license, a temporary license for the period of 90 days upon essentially approval for that this coming Tuesday. We would then issue it the following day on Wednesday next week, if it is approved, for it to expire on December 4th, 2024 for that duration of 90 days. So other than that, what we would do is as that expiration date approaches, we would reevaluate the need for a possible extension or an additional 90 days if needed. But we will closely monitor the situation and work with the applicant and community development to ensure that that process is going smoothly and timely.
Thank you, Mr. Byrd. Council, anybody? Questions?
You just answered my question.
Good, good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Byrd. Mr. Gray, I'd like to make a request to place this on the consent agenda for Monday. All right, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. That's all I had tonight under finance.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. Moving along, we have, next is the Housing and Community Affairs Committee chaired by Councilman Howard Estes.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have no business this evening for Housing and Community Affairs.
Thank you, Councilman. Our next committee is Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee. That Vice Chair is Councilwoman Dr. LaShawn Berdanley.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, Councilwoman Danley.
Welcome.
Next committee is Personnel and Organization Committee. Councilman Estes chairs that as well.
Thank you again, Mayor Pro Tem. We have no business under Personnel and Organization Committee tonight.
I'm detecting a trend here tonight. Next committee is Planning and Development. That is Councilwoman Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just a couple of items this evening. I'm kidding, I just want
Go
to see if
for
you're
it.
paying attention. No items this evening. I know, write that date down.
Did you scare everybody off? Did we do something wrong? Thank you, Councilwoman Miller. The next committee is Public Improvement and Beautification Committee, also chaired by Councilwoman Miller.
And also, no business this evening.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman Miller. The next committee is Public Relations, and that is, the vice chair is Councilwoman Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have no business this evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hudson. The next committee is the Public Safety, and that is chaired by Councilwoman Dr. LaShawn Berdanley.
No business tonight, Mayor Pro Tem, under Public Safety.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next committee is Recreation, Culture, and Tourism. That is chaired by Councilman Chris Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. There is no business tonight, Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
You're on a streak. Next committee is Technology Committee, chaired by Councilwoman Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have no business this evening.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hudson. Our next committee is Transportation, Councilman Dr. LaShawn Berdanley.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We have one item, excuse me, that reads as follows. Authorize the mayor to sign a local government letter of support for the revised concept report of the SR 92 Dallas Highway Reconstruction Project, PI 0017811. Mr. Gordon?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. James Gordon, 6695 Church Street. This item is a documentation to allow the designers of the Dallas Highway reconstruction to make a revision. We recently had an open house, and during that open house, we received very strong comments that some items on the design, the original design, should be removed and revised. Those items included roundabouts, to eliminate roundabouts. Another item was the fact that we now have lighting on that roadway and we'd like to maintain it. And then a third item was also a traffic signal at J.D. Simpson. The design called to have that removed, and the public requested that that remain, and now the engineers have reconsidered that, and that traffic signal will remain.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Were there any comments in regards to the right turn into the new subdivision, the newest subdivision off of 92? What's the name of the subdivision? Can't remember. I had a brain
That-
freeze.
That one's in the county. I'm assuming, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say in the county. Are you referring
That-
to?
The fourth, well, actually, it'll be Phase 4, but the subdivision is in the city.
Yes, this project doesn't extend that far down.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. So, thank you, Mr. Gordon. Mayor Pro Tem, are there any comments or questions by our Mayor Pro Tem or council members? Okay, if not, I'd like to add this item to the consent agenda, please. And there are no other items, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Councilwoman Danley.
Thank
All right. We are now moving on to other business. Does anybody on council have any other business to discuss at this time? Councilwoman Miller.
I have a question of you guys. I know it was mentioned in our last round, the possibility of us joining forces one more time to do that chili cook-off since it's not an election year. And I would just like to get a consensus if you guys are willing to And yes, coach
Would you like
is
to put
again.
that on the consent agenda?
Well, I just want to make sure that everyone's in before I sign up, and then it's just like,
What's the date?
if you hold pace, I will tell you. You're not
I
cooking?
said I would participate, but I was not cooking.
Emily?
We've got 5 people trying to find this.
I know.
Who's gonna
Okay.
win?
Well,
Councilwoman Miller, that's October 19th.
I'm sorry?
October 19th.
Yes, thank you. It said the 28th annual. I was like, wait, what? So I was misreading. Okay. The 19th of October. Are you guys in?
I see no objections.
Wonderful. All right, thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you, Councilwoman Miller. Any other business or items to be brought forth at this time? Yes, Councilwoman.
Can we reach out to former council member Mark Adams and make sure that Sandra will decorate the booth for us?
So we already did.
Okay.
She said that if we have if we give her good notice and if she has adequate time, that she will be willing to help us.
Well, then we
Yes.
need to make sure that we achieve all of those requests.
Okay.
Thank you.
We can put that in the form of a proclamation if you'd like. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, well, moving on to updates from city staff. City Attorney, Dr. Dodson.
No business, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Staff Attorney Miranda Jordan.
No business, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you.
Our Police Representative.
No business,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
City Manager.
I have no business but a request from the employees for early release tomorrow, since it's a 3-day weekend. All right, thank you, guys. That's all.
I see or hear no objections at this time. All right, hearing no other business at this time, we will open the floor for comments from citizens and delegates. If you have something that you'd like to present or say to the city council at this time, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. And as they say, we appear to have no takers tonight. So barring any other comments or issues before council at this time, the city council meeting is adjourned.